Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Start with the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence to remember the service and sacrifices of the armed service members who protect our nation and the first responders who protect our neighborhoods. Thank you. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Councilman Friedlander.
Here.
Councilwoman Noon.
Here.
Councilman Brooks.
Here.
Councilman Sackett.
Here.
Councilwoman Brooks is absent. Councilman Sahlberg.
Here.
Councilman Wojtowicz.
Here.
Vice President Quinn.
Here.
President Kritz.
Here. Notice of this meeting was sent to the Daily Record and the Star Ledger, the official newspapers for the Township of Rockaway, in compliance with Public Law 1975, Chapter 231. Additionally, notice was posted on the Township website and official bulletin boards of Rockaway and filed in the office of the Township Clerk. Before we begin, I'd like to make a motion by consensus to put on the agenda after old business, new business, and discussion, a closed session. Anybody opposed? Okay.
It looked like it was on there already, number 13.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
There was, I understand that, but it wasn't, that was not the one that was published. That's the one that was printed out for you guys, so we have to make a motion for it.
I'll second that.
It's just by consensus. Thank you. Okay, moving on to approval of minutes, I'm also pulling Agenda 6A, the minutes for the Township Council budget hearing. Were not distributed on time, so I'm going to hold that off until the next meeting. So we're looking for a motion to approve the minutes for the March 14th Township Council regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Friedlander.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks.
Yes.
Councilman Sackett.
Yes.
Councilman Sahlberg.
Yes.
Councilman Wojtowicz.
Yes.
Vice President Quinn.
Yes.
President Kritz.
Yes, that's 8 yeses, the motion passes. I'd like to hand over the meeting right now to Mayor Jackson for a couple presentations.
I'm going to turn my back to you guys. Thank you, Council President. First is Dr. Jean here? Dr. Jean, come on up. Please, if you don't mind. So, Dr. Jean Levitan is here tonight. She's making a $1,000 donation to the Rockaway Township Recreation Basketball Program. I'm going to read a little bit about Dr. Jean. She was a professor in the Department of Public Health at William Patterson University, where she taught for 41 years. On the sidelines of the basketball court, she was called Mrs. B. It's basketball. That's pretty cool. She and her husband, Stephen Bernstein, moved to Rockaway Township in 1988. Both their sons attended school here, first Stony Brook, then Copeland, and Morris Hills High School. Michael is a math teacher at Copeland, a boys basketball coach there. Both sons, Michael and Matthew, participated in recreational soccer, basketball, and baseball. Steve was assistant coach for basketball when Mike was younger, and then coached both sons in recreation high school boys basketball program. Jean was often a team mom and served as a co-director for the high school boys basketball rec program for 5 years with Ray Winecki. You didn't coach on the sidelines? No? And no one? Well, we want to thank you for your donation to the program. It's greatly appreciated by all the council and all the members of our public, so thank you. Yes, come on.
Just to be brief, I had two sons who loved basketball, and we also loved baseball and soccer, but basketball was the one that brought the family together the most. My husband was 5'7" on a good day, and one of the things that he loved about coaching was that everybody got to play. Rec is different than for those of you who watch kids compete and wait to maybe make a team. And while that's wonderful, recreation brings this community together, and I could think of no better way. My husband passed on Valentine's Day, and so to honor him, I think he'd be thrilled that we had chosen basketball. So thank you.
Okay, since we're talking about basketball, do we have a bunch of basketball players here from Copeland? Anybody? Raise your hand. Come on up. Councilman Sackett's got something he wants to read to you guys. We have a proclamation, and we got a bunch of you up here. Oh, there were more at Copeland when I was at the meeting there, but. Want to give some background?
Thank you, Mayor Jackson. Okay. I don't know, we're missing half the team tonight, but I understand with activities and stuff, I know sometimes it gets hard. I attended many of your games this season, and I wanted to make a little mention of Peyton Johnson in the background, who I coached many years ago, and when I came out to see, it was great to see him giving back, and I know he has to run from high school to get to Copeland and all that great effort. So here was the roster, the 2022-2023 Copeland boys basketball team. Eric Jakowski, Zachary Drone, Ryder Parsons, Braden Torriello, Tyler Farr, Dylan Regan, Matthew Sackett, Michael Sinegra, Hunter Tempesta, Zachary Hellberg, Max Martins Alleman, Lucas Cervansky, Cameron White, Aiden Shaw, Stephen Baker, William Shablick, Deacon Moody, Dylan Moody, Jeremy Frendo, Chase DeCake, Sean Sapansky, head coach Michael Bernstein, and assistant coach Peyton Johnson. Township of Rockaway proclamation. Whereas the Copeland boys basketball team under coach Michael Bernstein is to be recognized and honored for their outstanding 2022-2023 basketball season. And whereas the excellent performance, dedication, and commitment of these young men, along with their coach and staff, have proven to be a source of admiration and inspiration in the community of Copeland Middle School and the citizens of Rockaway Township. And whereas by their extraordinary efforts, they ended their season with an undefeated record of 12-0, and each margin of victory by 10 points or more. Whereas this Dynamite team has, in just its third year of existence, won their first championship and are now the Group 4 Morris County champions. Now, therefore, I, Joe Jackson, Mayor of the Township of Rockaway, do hereby recognize this great accomplishment and commend the Copeland boys basketball team and their coaching staff for their fine efforts and extend to them this token of admiration. Thank you. Guys, want to come over? Move over a little bit. There you go. There you go.
Come on.
There we go. Let's see. Maybe here, let's see. Coach, hold that. There you go. Hold that up. There you go. A little bit. Move it a little bit. There you go. There you go.
That way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
All right, and we have one more proclamation to read, and I'd like John to come up, if you don't mind. So for those of you that aren't familiar, right, an Eagle Scout is an incredible accomplishment in life. A very small percent of the population in our country and the world are Eagle Scouts, and a very small population of Scouts that start eventually become Eagle Scouts. Well, we're proud to have John up here. John achieved his Eagle Scout ranking. You want to talk real quick about your project, or you want me to read it?
I can talk about
Okay, go ahead. Talk about your project a little bit.
So I built some benches for my temple. I welded the frames together, and then we set it up in my front yard at my house, and we brought it there, and that was kind of it.
Got the whole
Yeah.
troop to help?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, I'm going to read the proclamation. Whereas service to the community which benefits the common good is necessary and is honorable, and whereas Boy Scouts of America is a volunteer organization that for the past 112 years has provided the opportunity for thousands of young people to develop strong character and resolution and to grow into healthy and productive adults, and whereas John Holly started his scouting journey as a Tiger Cub in Pack 160, and from his first meeting developed a love for scouting, and whereas John Holly has attained the highest rank within the organization, that of Eagle Scout, and this achievement is a result of years of service to the community, culminating in the successful completion of his Eagle Scout project. For his project, and John just described it, John designed and built 2 picnic tables and painted a 3rd existing table for Temple Shalom in Succossana. John served in various roles during his time as a Boy Scout and became a leader and teacher, guiding younger scouts on their journey. When John turned 18, he became an adult leader for Troop 113 and has been on many trips and campouts working with scouts and sharing what he has learned over his many years in scouting. A graduate of Morris Knolls High School, John is currently attending Lincoln Tech in Mahwah to receive his electricity certification. Now therefore, I, Joe Jackson, Mayor of the Township of Rockaway, do hereby congratulate John Holly on his distinguished achievement of earning the rank of Eagle Scout and call upon the citizens of the Township of Rockaway to extend to him their congratulations and best wishes for a life of happiness and continued success. Congratulations, John. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, moving on to the open to the public portion of the meeting. I will call you up. Please, when you come up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and we are limiting comments to 3 minutes. Michael Olardi.
Good evening, Michael Ellardi, 19 North Brookside Drive. I see there's an ordinance on the agenda tonight, R2375, regarding the performance guarantee at Fox Ridge Development, the maintenance guarantee that was held for 2 years. I was just curious if these residents know that this is on the agenda, because a couple years ago, many of them came before this council just to discuss and look for help regarding quality issues and I think water issues in the garages were a couple of the things I recall. Many of these residents that live there are seniors that have sold their homes in Rockaway Township, want to stay in the community, and that was an area where they could retire to and still stay in Rockaway. So I hope the council knows that those concerns were addressed before voting to release this bond, and take that into consideration before voting on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Patricia Degnan.
Pat Degnan, 88 Valley View Drive. It's just a little simple thing, but I tend to read everything that I get. And if you look at the agenda, it says Township of Rockaway, and then it says 2022 regular meeting agenda. And then underneath it says March 28th, 2023. So it's just a little.
Thank you. April Royal.
April Royal, 142 Hawthorne Court. I'm curious as to how I could obtain a copy of the lease to N.G. Gilbert of the parking lot at Peterson Field, as I go there every day with my son for the past 2 years. There's damage happening to the asphalt because it's not rated for the storage of heavy equipment. There are township police parked there all day, all night. Is that part of the lease, the expense of that? Or is that being absorbed by the taxpayer? Are they paying the electric fees to keep the lights on all night? it doesn't look great, guys. Where could I get a copy of that? That should be available under the Freedom of Information Act?
I can put you in touch with our town administrator. Okay. Karen, my apologies, Nappy? No. Hey, there we go. There you go.
Hi, Karen Nappy, 3210 Cleveland Lane. I came this evening because I would like some clarification about what is covered under the noise or disturbing the peace ordinance, and if I could get some assistance having it enforced. Having a problem with the neighbor, and I really don't know where else to turn.
Okay, and again, I can put you in touch with the correct person, like, we wouldn't cover, like, the specifics of that right now, but I can certainly put you in touch with them.
Okay, thanks.
Susan Wright?
Hi, Susan Royak, 252 Perry Street, Dover. I have a quick question about water main breaks and notifications. I know we got a notification when a power pole fell down, but we never were notified with the water main break. Through texting, I get a text through the township. I was wondering how that works. Is because maybe the mailing address is Dover?
I can ask if anybody has any information, we could address that later. I got one about the one last week.
Water main break?
Mhm.
Why did this was like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago?
I personally get them. I
You
mean,
got
we
it
can-
about Perry Street?
Mhm. Yeah.
I didn't. All right, that's weird. I live on Perry Street. All right, whatever. But I got it about the pole. Also,
You
about
live on
your-
Perry Street?
Say it again.
You should have been the one to send out the alert.
Oh, I should have been the one to tell me how to
You
do
were
it.
right there.
Tell me how to do it. I'll do
Got
it. I walked up, but anyway, hiking paths. About a year ago, I spoke with Mr. Jackson about I'm willing, able, and ready to help mark trails. I'm a hiker. My friends and family are. I was a Girl Scout leader. I would love to mark trails, clear trails around Mount Hope Pond, up off of Green Pond, wherever you want me to do it, I'll do it. Because all the other towns have really nice hiking trails and they're clearly marked. I just mentioned that, I'm really interested in that. And car break-ins, I keep getting alerts about that. Can we get specifics on that? Where are these break-ins?
We could ask the chief to address that later. I know he has some,
Last ones that we have were on Sanders Road, and officers actually what they were.
so,
Sanders.
Once again,
chief,
thankfully,
yep.
the neighbors were.
Chief, I'm sorry, I don't mean, we'll cover it in the reports if that's okay. I know he has good news, so,
Okay.
about it, so.
And also, I'm on the Board of Adjustment. I was
Mhm.
just wondering about the last two dismissals, like why they were dismissed. We have a really nice group.
Again, we wouldn't cover the specifics of this here. We can certainly speak after.
Who would I speak with?
I can speak to you after the meeting.
Okay, and then through an email or,
If you're gonna be here, I can speak to you.
oh, okay. Car break-in, second pass. Okay, that's it.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks. Did anybody who not filled out the sheet wish to speak? Okay. No? Jim? No. Just checking. Okay. Okay, moving on to ordinances for introduction. O-23-13, an ordinance amending Chapter 54 entitled Land Use and Development of the Code of the Township of Rockaway to amend its regulations pertaining to accessory structures and uses. Can I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Friedlander,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon,
Yes.
Councilman Brooks,
Yes.
Councilman Sackett,
Yes.
Councilman Selberg,
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich,
Yes.
Vice President Quinn,
Yes.
President Kretz.
Yes, that's 8 yeses. Just as a note, this is now going to be referred to the planning board now that it's been introduced. Ordinances for public hearing final adoption. A, O-23-10, an ordinance fixing the salaries of various officials and contractual employees of the Township of Rockaway and the County of Morris. Can I have a motion?
Make that motion?
Council President, excuse me, did you have, an
That's the next one.
I'm sorry. I can't see it.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, thanks. Okay, is there any, public comment, on this ordinance only? Any council discussion? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Friedlander,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon,
Yes.
Councilman Brooks,
Yes.
Councilman Sackett, excuse me,
Yes.
Councilman Salberg,
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich,
Yes.
Vice President Quinn,
Yes.
President Kritz.
Yes, that's 8 yeses, that motion passes. Before we do the next ordinance, I am going to make a motion to amend ordinance O-23-11 to increase the pay range for chief of police to 83,000, from 83,000. Currently, it is 83,000 to 165,515. My motion is to increase that to 185,515. I do want to note that this does not impact the budget, and this puts us in line with other local towns. Mr. Yachafano, is this something that we can put in and adopt?
As it is a non-substantive motion in the sense that it doesn't affect the budget, that's correct.
Okay. So I'm making that motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on that? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Friedlander,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon,
Yes.
Councilman Brooks,
Yes.
Councilman Sackett,
Yes.
Councilman Salberg,
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich,
Yes.
Vice President Quinn,
Yes.
President Kritz.
Yes, that's 8 yeses. That motion carries. Now that we did that, I am introducing ordinance O-23-11 as amended, an ordinance fixing the salaries of various officials and non-contractual employees of the Township of Rockaway and the County of Morris. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there anybody from the public that wishes to speak on this ordinance? Any council discussion? Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Friedlander,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon,
Yes.
Councilman Brooks,
Yes.
Councilman Sackett,
Yes.
Councilman Salberg,
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich,
Yes.
Vice President Quinn,
Yes.
President Kritz.
Yes, that is 8 yeses. That motion carries. Moving on to consent agenda. I am pulling consent agenda items A and B for further review. We'll reintroduce those at a later time. So consent agenda consisting now of C, R-23-73, D, R-23-74, R-23-75, F, R-23-76, G, R-23-77, H, R-23-78. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Council President,
Yes.
can I pull R-2375 for discussion?
Ms. Yachafano, as I already had a motion on the floor, can we do that?
If you accept the request. yes.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so motion to, we don't need a motion to pull it. Motion to pass consent agenda consisting of items C, D, F, G, and H only. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Friedlander,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon,
Yes.
Councilman Brooks,
Yes.
Councilman Sackett,
Yes.
Councilman Salberg,
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich,
Yes.
Vice President Quinn,
Yes.
President Kritz.
Yes, it's 8 yes and 8 yeses. That motion carries. Discussion on E, Councilman?
Yes, I know that they've been doing a lot of the things that were on the list, of their punch list, but I don't know exactly how much was on the punch list, so are we comfortable with everything that they've done? I just want to verify that.
Yes, we have been working for a number of years
Yeah.
with the property owner, as well, the developer. Mr. Larkin, I'm impressed with your memory on the matter. It's including the trench drains, pavement, retaining walls. We have certifications on all retaining walls, so yes, the developer satisfied all the punch list, and the homeowners association is aware that we're releasing the performance bond.
Yeah, the one retaining wall's in my backyard, so I just want to Make sure we're all in the up and up. All right, I'm good.
All right, can I have a motion to pass consent agenda item E, R-23-75?
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Friedlander,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon,
Yes.
Councilman Brooks,
Yes.
Councilman Sackett,
Yes.
Councilman Salberg,
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich,
Yes.
Vice President Quinn,
Yes.
President Kretz.
Yes, that's 8 yeses. That motion passes. Moving on to old business, new business, and discussion. Once again, I'll ask everybody to keep it to under 5 minutes. Looking at him. He poked you, I didn't poke you. It was 5 minutes. Councilman Vojtovich.
Congratulations to the Copeland basketball team again. That's a great record, 12-0. To John, the Eagle Scout, for getting that rank. And thank you to the chief and the Rockaway Township Police Department for apprehending those burglars. The car break-ins have been a big problem, and some residents have been locking in their doors. It helped, and obviously when the cops come out and they catch the guys, that's even better. So thank you.
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes, attended the Crumble grand opening and the Super Chicks grand opening. Both very good. Super Chicks is excellent. We actually I brought a bunch of menus to work. We ordered it for lunch the next day. Really good. And looking forward to going to Stony Brook on Saturday for the Easter festivities. And that's it. Thank you.
Councilman Brooks.
A couple things. The hockey season is now over. As you can tell, I shaved. So that's one thing. The second thing is at the regional school district, they're still looking for a new superintendent. So just so you're again all aware, they were actually having a meeting about it tonight instead of closed door. So just wanted to give you an update on that.
Councilman Sackett.
Thank you, Council President. Last Wednesday, I attended the Board of Ed meeting, and they had a nice, they're doing a play, and they gave a little performance for the Copeland play. I think that starts this weekend, this Friday. And then they recognize the basketball team as well, which is great. The grand opening, Super Chicks and Crumble Cookies, and really nice. Look, and a lot of these new businesses coming into town. We've had a lot of food places, so hopefully we get some other places in here. But that was real nice. Like Councilwoman Noon said, Easter Festival coming up this Saturday. A lot of holidays next week. Passover starting next Wednesday night. Good Friday on Friday the 7th. Easter on Sunday the 9th. So everyone's celebrating their various holidays. Just want to wish you a great holiday. Thank you.
Councilman Friedlander.
Thank you, Council President. First, the library, just want to tell the people that the library between Hibernia and the main branch, the numbers for every program and the book usage is pre-pandemic. They're busy. If you go in, you'll see new chairs. They're moving computer stations around, and they're moving forward. Also, remember April 23rd is their spring festival, and there's a lot of things planned for the day, and come on out and enjoy your day with the library. The Substance Abuse Alliance met. They're into the next phase where there's going to be another speaker at Copeland. And then June 4th, it's going to be Celebrity Day for the full day at Copeland with probably about 25 different celebrities. The school is going to be hopping that day. As far as the Historical Society, moving ahead, starting to plan different projects. Also, if you look on the Pathways of History, it's again this year. It starts May 6th, a Saturday, to Sunday, May 7th. And the Ford Face House is number 13 in the tour. So if you want to go on Pathways historyofnewjersey.net. It'll explain the route. Fourth, the Environmental Commission met for the first time in I don't know how many years, with some new members, old members, and they're fired up. So you're gonna start hearing about the Environmental Committee more often from now on. Also, with the administration and all the department heads, we met with the new Water Quality Committee. We knocked around some ideas and things to bring forward with a member from White Meadow Lake, from Green Pond, and that'll be in conjunction with probably the Environmental Committee, so that's full steam ahead too. So we're moving in the right direction as far as the environment and the protection of our lakes in this town, because without the lakes, you don't have Rockaway Township. And again, get ready for the holidays with your family, safe, secure, and enjoy, because life is very short. Take care. Thank you. And that's it.
Councilman Solberg, can you be as profound and deep in your comments, please?
I'm a busy person. All right, so nothing of note from the Board of Commissioners from their March 22nd meeting, but if you do have an opportunity on April 8th, it's opening day for trout, and if you get a chance to go up to the Hibernia Fire Department, they always do a great job up there. Ladies Auxiliary does a breakfast. There's prizes for the kids for biggest catch. It always gets a great crowd, and yeah, definitely use the support. And again, as Councilman Friedlander was saying, we have some amazing water in our town. Happens to be some some C1 waterways with native trout, but in this case, it's the stockies. But again, it's a great time. Take advantage of the natural resources we have. So that's all I have.
Council Vice President?
Yes, thank you. As other council people have said, 2 new stores at the mall. I won't repeat everything. It's great seeing new stores coming in. Hopefully more people will get drawn to the mall. We are also getting ready. April 1st is the grand opening of the fields to the sport programs, and they are all ready to get on those fields. They've been dying, especially the turf field, to get going. I want to thank administration for the dial-a-ride. We went to St. Patrick's Day over in the Denville at Thatcher's McGee. Everybody had a great meal. And of course, the Irish were dipping, so they had fun. Got to be Irish to get there, right? And Dial-A-Ride is also starting to get its program together for its walking around Parks Lake as the weather gets better. I've asked them to start opening it up to the mall so that, and as the weather isn't as good as it could be, we can walk in the mall, and actually they can visit some stores in the mall, make some money in there. And other than that, I wish everybody a happy holidays. As Jonathan said, they're all coming. Stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy. Thank you.
Mayor Jackson?
Yeah, a few things I wanted to go over. As Councilman Sack had mentioned, the Board of Ed meeting was great. The Mary Poppins performance, I actually tried to get them to come tonight and do a preview of the performance like they did at the meeting, but I think because they're getting ready to go live this week, they didn't have the time. So I think if anybody has the chance and you have a free night over the weekend, you should go watch the performance. Had a planning board meeting on the 20th. Eileen Horowitz and Mike Alardi ran another blood drive at White Meadow Lake this week. So it seemed like a very good turnout. There were a lot of people there. They were giving away seeds. We got some flower seeds. So that was pretty cool. At the DBO PTA meeting on the 22nd, Andrew Scott was able to get his full funding for their Gaga ball pit, so that was pretty cool. And we talked about something there, brought up to their PTA, and I wanted to just announce, make sure everybody's aware, this should be on our Facebook and on our website. We are doing a clean community, our annual spring cleanup, Mount Hope Pond and Parks Lake, Saturday, April 22nd, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pre-registration is required. There's a phone number listed, 973-983-2848. If you're under 18, you have to be accompanied by a parent or some type of parental supervision. Cara Salino is our Clean Communities Coordinator. She does a great job, so I'd highly encourage everybody to volunteer. If you have a Girl Scout troop, Boy Scout troop, a basketball team, softball team, whatever it might be, it's a great team building event for them to participate in. I think what was cool about the openings we went to, it's Super Chicks and Crumble. I don't know, maybe I'm just getting older, but it was like young guys, right? And it was kind of cool seeing them have their own business and growing. And as I forget who said it, hopefully bringing new people to the community and to the mall to raise revenues there. Saturday night went to Schlock Fest. Bob, you over there? You behind the screen there? At Germania Park. It was unbelievable. The food was great. They had a rockin' band going. It was a lot of fun. They threw some great events there, so if you do get a chance to visit any of the events at Germania Park, I highly encourage it. Councilman Friedlander touched on some of the things I have set up. So the Water Quality Committee that I established this year, I've also appointed Neil Weiss the head of the Environmental Committee, and I think it's a reflection of what I feel is the importance of our environment in our community and the natural resources we have. So we had a very good meeting last night. The representative from Green Pond couldn't be there. We had a representative from Lake Telemark, from White Meadow Lake. Actually, we had a couple of people there from White Meadow Lake. So I think we're going to make some good progress. We identified some things we want to do, and I think with Neil and head of that environmental committee, we're going to get a lot accomplished for our environment. We're still trying to get a date where we could all get together for the Public Safety Committee, but I did want to announce tonight I'm creating another committee, the Recreation Committee, and I'm looking forward to get members of the public involved in that, possibly do things like trail runs and coordinate events like that. So again, I'm trying to get some more community involvement. I've asked Council Members Brooks and Council President Kritz to lead that committee from a council perspective. We'll get Mr. Dyer and I think Mr. Coward involved in that committee and try and get volunteers from the public to get involved and do that. And then lastly, I just wanted to read sent an open letter to the state legislature asking for restoration of the energy tax receipts property tax relief fund. So a lot of mayors have been signing this, so I wanted to sign it. So it says, "Dear honorable members of the Senate and General Assembly, as fellow New Jersey elected officials, we strongly urge the full restoration of the energy tax receipts property tax relief fund to municipalities. Encourage you to incorporate this essential municipal funding into the 2024 fiscal year New Jersey budget. This funding is necessary first step in addressing property tax affordability in the state." And there's a bunch more to read, but I wanted to let you know on behalf of the township, I signed this this letter that went to the state assembly, and that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ms. Yachafano?
Thank you, Council President. I just want to remind the public that with the introduction of vote 2313, which was item 9 on the agenda tonight, and that introduction passed by the council, the protocol now, because that ordinance constitutes a series of significant amendments to our land use and zoning ordinance. That will be referred to the planning board for comment and come back to the council. So depending upon how quickly the planning board reviews it, we may miss a cycle on that before it comes up for final review and passage. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Ms. Seeger?
I just want to say, I hope everybody, if they come and visit the building, they recognize that the Rockaway students put all their artwork on display this month, and it's amazing the talent in the school system, and the art teachers do that, and we really appreciate that. It dresses up our building, and while you're here, you can look at one side of the building and the other. Each staff there is decorating for the holidays, and I think they're having contests between each other, and they've done a nice job for Easter. They did for St. Patrick's Day, and it's really nice for the employees to do that. It dresses up our building and welcomes everybody to come in, and I'm surprised the mayor didn't say this, but we have a new sign outside in the parking lot that the mayor, that has the building there, and then if we cancel a meeting, we'll put it down there, so you don't have to get out of your car and come up to the front door. So we'll be putting more messages down there, or any events down there, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Ms. Palmieri?
I have no report, just happy holidays to everybody.
Mr. Coward?
Nothing to report, thank you.
Ms. Ferrante? No report. Chief?
Needless to say, this past week, we've been rather busy with the multiple arrests. On Thursday, the 23rd, we assisted Denville and Morris County Prosecutor's Office in regards to the incident over at Morris Knolls High School, where the two students brought actual live Glock 43 into the school. We assisted them in that investigation, which is continuing. On Friday, the 24th, we received a call from a resident on Sanders Road who noticed that her Ring doorbell was going off. It turns out that there are several individuals from the city of Newark going along, trying to order the door handles in the parking lots and along the streets in the area of Sanders Road. Fortunately, everyone was heeding our rave requests and locking their doors, so that as they were going along, they didn't realize that the police were en route. The officers responded and made the apprehension. And besides catching the auto burglars, it also turns out that there's a quantity of heroin, several bundles of heroin, in the car which we seized. So needless to say, besides taking a couple of auto burglars off the street, we also took a quantity of drugs off the street.
Nice.
And on Saturday the 25th, we became involved with a shoplifting that was being committed by an organized retail theft ring. There was 4 males and a female that entered the Ulta store over by the Dick's Sporting Goods. It's a beauty care facility. They walked in with black plastic garbage bags and proceeded to fill them with over $7,000 worth of merchandise. Fortunately, our officer responded and got the description, put it out. The only thing I can state is that if you're going to be pulling a robbery in Rockaway Township, you want to make sure that you have a car that works, because unfortunately their car broke down on the side of 80 eastbound, and all 5 were apprehended, are currently residing in the Morris County Jail.
Nice.
Yeah, so we've been rather busy. And this Saturday, April 1st, besides the Easter Festival, the last Challenger PAL basketball game is going to be held, hosted by Morris Catholic. So if you can make it, it'll be rough for me. I'm going to try and attend both. But if you can come out for either, you're more than welcome. Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks. Mr. Dyer?
I'll just catch up on the NG Gilbert question. I'm of the thought that we should need to have a good relationship with these folks. There is no lease. I'll contact the foreman that's there, see if he can clean up anything that's left behind. But they are doing work in town. Again, I'll speak to him, but these are guys that we're going to need eventually. Hopefully not, but if we do need them, we want to have a good relationship with them and see if we can help them out any way we can. But again, I'll reach out to my contact, see if there's any damage there or branches or things of that nature to get cleaned up. I was up there not too long ago, but I'll take a look at it. That's private property. That's my report.
Thank you. Mr. Tabbitt?
Just wanted to mention the Division of Health does generally enforce the noise ordinance, so if any residents have a concern, they can certainly, I'll stay after the meeting and I'm happy to address them, or they could reach us at the Division of Health by phone or email or in person. No other report except happy holidays and go Yankees.
Miss, don't take that personally. Mr. Knopf?
I just want to report that we're out with the street sweeper, so we're starting up north, working our way through the lake communities, part of our annual winter cleanup. And also in the future, you'll be seeing a car in town from Street Solutions doing scanning of our roadways to do roadway asset management, to rate our roadways for preparation for pavement analysis. So as it goes on, I'll let you all know. when they start coming into town. It's a funny looking little car, looks like the Google Mobile. They'll see it around town, but they'll be here for a couple weeks.
I saw them up at the mall today, little orange car.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's the Home Depot.
That's all I got.
thanks. Mr. Heinzelman?
Thank you, Council President. I wanted to announce that White Meadow Lake is becoming very excited to receive one of two new pieces of equipment. Late last year, Mayor Jackson and Ms. Seeger worked with the American Rescue Plan, and we were able to put some money together to get a new boat for White Meadow Lake. That'll be here within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And then we're going to have our new fire engine coming through probably in the next 2 months. So a lot of excitement in town. Again, the fire department greatly appreciates the support of the council and the administration as we try to serve the residents of Rockaway Township. So thank you all. That's the end of my report.
Thank you. Okay, so just for everybody's information, at this point, I'm going to introduce a resolution for the council to go into a closed session. We will be in the session, this is our last piece of business, so we will be in session.
You might come out to have a motion. You don't know. There might be,
I know, but it's related to the closed session.
yeah.
I understand. I'm going to set a time limit of 30 minutes. If we're going to exceed the 30 minutes, we will come out. If anybody decides to stay, we'll come out and let everybody know that we will be in there for longer than that period. So, Resolution R-23-79, authorizing an executive closed session in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act to discuss matters that contain personnel matters and contract negotiations. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Please take the roll.
Councilman Friedlander,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon,
Yes.
Councilman Brooks,
Yes.
Councilman Sackett,
Yes.
Councilman Selberg,
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich,
Yes.
Vice President Quinn,
Yes.
President Kretz.
Yes, that's 8 yeses, motion passes. We'll be back in 30 minutes.
I'll see you guys.
Hey, give me my pen and get
announce the.
I'd like to make a motion to come back from closed session. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Motion?
Motion.
Motion.
The motion was the second.
Sure. Please take the roll.
Councilman Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon?
Yes.
Council,
Just to come back.
Councilman Brooks?
Yes.
Councilman Sackett?
Yes.
Councilman Sahlberg?
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich?
Yes.
Vice President Quinn?
Yes.
President Kretz?
Yes, that's 8 yeses. I'd like to make a motion. The township shall proceed with payout of accrued vacation and holiday time in excess of time permitted by NJSA 11A 6-3 and current employee union contracts in order to be in compliance with state statutes and collective bargaining agreements. Moving forward, the township will adhere to and enforce NJSA 11A 6-3 and the current contracts. Can I have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Friedlander?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon?
Yes.
Councilman Brooks?
Yes.
Councilman Sackett?
No.
Councilman Sahlberg?
No.
Councilman Vojtovich?
No.
Vice President Quinn?
Abstain.
President Kretz?
Yes. It's 4 yeses, 3 nos. Motion carries. Okay, motion to adjourn by consensus.
So moved.
Anybody opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.